Hello and welcome to this presentation from Mount Olive Lutheran Church in Mound, Minnesota. I am Pastor Mike Mishock. As our church and our community come out of the very disruptive events of the past couple of years, our leaders have been looking to the future and praying and discussing and researching various possibilities for being more effective in our mission, reaching more people with the good news of life and salvation through faith in Jesus Christ. Our church, of course, like many churches, is graying, and the largest group in our church, like I say, like many other churches, is the older folks. And sometimes that's looked at as being a liability. But I would like to say that this is an opportunity for us to improve and expand our ministry to seniors, but through that, to reach the entire family. Who will be our mission field? It's very interesting to notice that if we look at the demographic information for a 5-mile radius around Mount Olive, the greatest increase will be in the 65 and over category over the next 10 years. And this information comes to us from our Lutheran Church Extension Fund, which is a part of our Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. And I can share more information from that report with you if you would like. But notice how over the 10-year period, 2022 to 2032, that the population in the age group of 0 to 4 and 25 to 34, those age groups, the population in those age groups will increase somewhat. But notice that several other age group divisions will actually decrease. But the thing I want you to notice is on the far right there, that 65 and over, that part of the population will increase almost 9%. Here is kind of the same data shown a slightly different way. And again, I want to draw your attention to the fact that there on the right-hand side, you notice that that age group 65 and over is going to increase and in fact become the largest part of our population in this area. In 2020, PBS did an article and not surprisingly uncovered the information that the U.S. is getting older and going to keep getting older. You've got right now 74 million people under age 18 and 56.4 million age 65 and older, but 10 years from now, the young group, those in the young age, under age 18, will grow a little bit, but the number of old people will have increased a lot. And of course, they will be baby boomers, and they will also be those known as centenarians, those who reach and exceed the age of 100. That's going to have a very dramatic increase in the next several decades. Well, our state and government are aware of these things as well, and they have a thing called the Aging 2030 Initiative, and they offer several different suggestions for how this can be addressed. And I want to draw your attention particularly to their recommendation that we activate networks of neighbors and faith communities to support individuals who do not have family or other social support. Or maybe they need increased support beyond what their family can offer. And also, they recommend that we ensure that grandparents raising grandchildren have access to existing programs intended to help families with children. So, as we look at Mount Olive, we look at some of the current things that we are doing, and we believe that we can continue to do these things and also build on these for the future. So we would like to continue to offer Bible studies and worship services, support groups, help of various kinds, not only here at church, but also in private homes and in senior living communities throughout the area. And these can be led by the pastor and also by trained and supported members of the congregation. We want to continue to encourage and support family and volunteers and professional caregivers who are caring for elderly persons, and of course the many elderly who are caring for other elderly either in their homes or in a living facility. We want to continue to build relationships with other churches in our area, church agencies such as the Minnesota South District and the LCEF. There are organizations such as the Gillespie Center, Men's Shed, Westonka Healthy Communities Collaborative, WeCab, which offers volunteer transportation, We Can, which has many different programs to give support to people. The schools, the library, governmental agencies, all of these different groups are interested in providing better services for the elderly and for the aging population. We can improve our resources for helping people to plan major life events, such as retirement, changes in housing, funerals, estate planning, and so on. In other words, how is the Lord leading us to make the last years of our life on earth, the last decades of our life on earth, really fruitful and productive? So here are a few next steps that we are considering at this time, and we invite your engagement and your response, your opinion on these different things. We envision that there can be and should continue to be regular meetings and communication with other churches and organizations, with the police and the fire and healthcare agencies, with city, county, and state government agencies. And of course, through that, we want to establish relationships with others who are serving the aging population. We understand that the resources to do this, the financial resources, will have to come from beyond the current congregation. We believe that that can happen, and that with that, we could call or hire a parish nurse or a deaconess to help with organizing senior and family ministry. We might develop a business plan for an intergenerational daycare center, a place where healthy relationships are nurtured between young children and seniors and all members of the family regardless of their age. Perhaps we will establish a Westonka Foundation for Healthy Aging as a fiscal agent for grants and other funding, which is available from various sources. It would be good to establish relationship with schools that are training healthcare workers and other caregiving workers, such as Concordia St. Paul, Crown College, University of Northwestern, other Concordias. Thank you for viewing this presentation about the possibilities for intergenerational ministry here at Mount Olive. There are churches and other agencies in the Twin Cities area that are doing some wonderful things in terms of intergenerational ministry models that can help us and inspire us. Here is one that comes from a little further away from Missouri, and I hope you'll enjoy this brief video that talks about what's being done at a place called Perry Lutheran Home.
When you think about your life experience, it's intergenerational. You go to school with different grades, you have different ages, you work with people that are different ages, different levels of experience. Families are of different ages, and that's all a very positive, God-designed thing. Too often we take that and we tear it apart, and we say that young people are only going to be with young people and old people are only with old people, and that's somehow beneficial for them. What we've found, and what everybody intuitively knows, is that grandparents love grandchildren. Grandchildren love grandparents. And at Perry Lutheran Home, we have 100+ grandparents. They actually are grandparents, but they get a chance to love on these little children that live with them in the intergenerational care through Acorns and Oaks. And these little children get a chance to impact and to relate to special grandmas and grandpas, if you will. It's a healthy thing, it's a wonderful thing, and it's a faith thing, and it's something that we continue to focus on, making both of those groups, the very young and the very old, joyful, and God does the rest.
You can't see the young folks interacting with the older folks without seeing smiles. Their eyes sparkle, they smile. They may not be able to engage verbally. They may not even be able to hear very well what the children are saying, but they can do hands-on activities with them, and they can observe the children doing their hands-on activities. And it's such a delight to see the older folks either engaging in that with them or simply watching them. And that helps to normalize life, and I'm very convinced that it helps to improve quality of life. And you can't dismiss how it affects the young folks as well, that they have somebody for a period of time during the week who will give them their undivided attention and just be very accepting of whatever it is they're doing. They're not rushing them to go somewhere or get something done or pick up their toys. They're just enjoying those moments together, and that's priceless.
We have planned activities every day, and then we have just spontaneous activities every day. The kids are really part of this community, and a lot of the kids don't have grandparents that live in an immediate area, so this is their opportunity to have that engagement with the older generations.
It's fun to watch them, and today I got to read to one of the little girls, and just to see their activities and as many things as they are busy doing. That's interesting. And then when they come upstairs to sometimes bring a certain activity and we help them, why, that's a fun thing too. I think it makes me feel a little younger.
After daycare, we just cruise upstairs, walk through the halls, maybe say hi to a couple individuals. And he's like the little hotshot. Like, this is my territory, this is my grounds. There's no hesitation, there's no like looking around in shock, like where are we at? It's literally he's comfortable and he's at home. If we're out and about at the grocery store or in public, if there's someone in a wheelchair or with a walker, he doesn't stare at them, he doesn't look at them any different. He gives them a huge smile, and that's always overwhelming as a parent to see. Being able to see the skills and comfort that have developed as an outcome of interacting with the residents here has just been eye-opening and enjoyable for me to see.
We had a resident in our dementia unit. He really couldn't talk much anymore, but he always had loved children. So I put this little 6-month-old little boy in front of him, and this little boy put his hands on the resident's cheeks, and the resident started to cry. And his son was sitting right there beside him, and he started to cry. And then the little boy put his forehead next to the resident's forehead. And I turned around and all of the staff was crying also, had tears in their eyes, and that's my most favorite. It's just amazing, the looks in their eyes and the smiles, the hugs, maybe somebody won't ever talk, but they will to a baby. You know, it's just so positive.